Is the image of NFL legend Shannon Sharpe about to be shattered by disturbing new details? The bombshell $50 million lawsuit against the sports broadcasting icon has taken a dramatic turn with the emergence of alleged text messages and a voice recording, adding a complex and potentially damaging layer to the already serious accusations. As we previously reported, the lawsuit was filed by a woman identified as Jane Doe, who claims the relationship started when she was just 19 and Sharpe was 56. The complaint describes their initial meeting at a Los Angeles gym and her feeling physically intimidated by the much older, imposing athlete. Despite this, the lawsuit claims she eventually entered into what it describes as a rocky consensual relationship that reportedly spanned nearly 2 years. But the picture painted by the lawsuit is far from a typical romance, the complaint alleges. That throughout this period, Sharpe displayed controlling and manipulative behavior. It claims he was allegedly dishonest, emotionally volatile, prone to anger, and used his significant power, fame, and wealth to dominate the plaintiff, portraying characteristics the suit describes as narcissistic. These are grave accusations about a private relationship contrasting sharply with Sharpe's public persona. Things reportedly escalated significantly, including a highly publicized incident in September 2024. According to the lawsuit, Sharpe allegedly Lev streamed himself engaged in sex with another woman on Instagram, reportedly seen by over 1 million followers. The complaint frames this as a deliberate act that caused the plaintiff deep humiliation and prompted her to attempt to end the relationship and cut off contact with Sharpe. However, escaping the relationship allegedly proved difficult. The lawsuit claims Sharpe reacted intensely to her efforts to pull away, allegedly barraging her with relentless calls and demands to know her whereabouts. The complaint states this alleged harassment became so overwhelming she frequently left Nevada, where they both reportedly moved, seeking refuge and control over her life, but claims she remained terrified. The most serious allegations involve what the lawsuit claims happened after. According to the complaint, despite her efforts to avoid him, Sharpe allegedly tracked her down at a Nevada gym in October 2024. The lawsuit describes him as aggressively confronting her, allegedly making explicit threats, such as saying he would kill you right there in public. Despite her refusal, the complaint claims he forced her under threat into his car and took her to her apartment. Inside, the lawsuit details horrifying allegations. She claims he ignored her resistance, forcibly took her to the bedroom, and allegedly sexually assaulted her, ignoring her desperate pleas. The complaint alleges he made chilling statements during the alleged assault, like threatening to punish this and make it so no man will ever want you again. Shockingly, the lawsuit also alleges a second, similar assault took place. In January, following these alleged incidents, the plaintiff states she left Nevada permanently and filed the lawsuit, seeking $50 million in damages for assault, battery, and emotional distress. Framing the legal action as a pursuit of justice, adding another explosive layer to this legal battle are alleged text messages and a voice recording that have recently surfaced. These communications reportedly introduce a deeply complex dynamic to the relationship. Texts allegedly sent by the plaintiff, which have reportedly been released by the defense, include highly explicit and potentially contradictory messages related to BDSM and role-playing, such as "I want to be abused, daddy," "tie me up like this and abuse me," and demanding hardcore BDSM action, specifically referencing putting a dog collar on her neck and wanting him to choke me while you're F-king me. However, other texts allegedly show a different side, including one reportedly from the plaintiff that states, "I cried when you left. I beg you to put a condom on and not put it in my auses, and you didn't listen. No means no, Shannon." This contrast between alleged consensual BDSM role-play texts and explicit refusals at other times is expected to be central to the defense's strategy. Further complicating the picture is an alleged phone recording that has emerged. In the recording, the plaintiff is reportedly heard sounding upset, saying things like, "You're just going to, get mad at me, and you're just going to hang up on me." At one point, she allegedly says, "You want to be a DCAC for me now." The recording also reportedly captures Sharpe allegedly making alarming statements, like, "I'm going to choke out of you when I see you." When the plaintiff allegedly expresses reluctance to go out because she doesn't want to get choked, Sharpe reportedly responds by saying something to the effect of, "Well, I'll choke you in public then," allegedly following up with a disturbing comment referencing his race and size relative to hers. This alleged recording, if authentic and presented as evidence, could powerfully illustrate the dynamic claimed in the lawsuit, showing alleged threats and manipulation. The legal confrontation is expected to be fierce, the plaintiff's lawyer, Tony Busby, known for his aggressive legal tactics and often trying cases in the media, has reportedly been involved in releasing some of these communications. Sharpe's legal team is anticipated to use the BDSM-related texts and the plaintiff's OnlyFans background to challenge her credibility and argue that the alleged sexual acts were either consensual or part of a pre-existing pattern of behavior she initiated or requested. Reports suggest Sharpe may have attempted to settle the case privately for $10 million, which was allegedly refused, fueling the defense's potential argument that the $50 million lawsuit is primarily a shakedown motivated by money. This case presents a stark challenge in court, relying heavily on witness credibility, now complicated by conflicting digital evidence. The defense will likely scrutinize every aspect of the plaintiff's history and communications, while the plaintiff's team will focus on the specific instances of alleged non-consensual assault, threats, and the overall power imbalance. The public nature of this battle, including the release of private messages and recordings, ensures it will remain under intense scrutiny. The financial stakes are enormous for Sharpe. Beyond the potential $50 million judgment, the very public nature of these allegations, amplified by the media strategy, puts his lucrative endorsements, including reported deals worth potentially over $100 million, in serious jeopardy. There's also speculation that other accusers could emerge, further complicating his situation. Ultimately, this lawsuit drags a private relationship into the harsh glare of the public spotlight, revealing conflicting narratives and alleged behavior. Far removed from Shannon Sharpe's polished public image, the truth remains locked behind the upcoming legal process, where alleged texts, recordings, and personal histories will clash in a high-stakes battle that could redefine the legacy of a sports icon.